Okay, in this video, I want to clarify what unlocked means, because you're going to hear that term a lot in this business. What is unlocked? And so many people completely misunderstand what unlocked really means. Unlocked in the phone industry means basically that the phone can be used on any GSM network. Now, I hope you watched the other videos about the IMEI and ESN that are in the course first so that you understand what that means, the GSM and things of that nature. But basically, let's say, for example, I have an AT&T phone. Now, AT&T, the phone is originally locked to AT&T, which means that if I take my AT&T SIM card in there and put it in the phone will be active as long as my SIM card is AT&T. But let's say I have T-Mobile, and maybe I switched over from AT&T, but I happen to have a nice phone that I got from AT&T that still works great and I want to use it. I can't take my T-Mobile SIM card and put it into that because it's locked to AT&T. So what that means is there's services that will do what's called unlocking, and it will change some of the software inside the phone, unlock a code to allow the phone to use any network. So T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever, any carrier that's on a GSM network where you have a SIM card that the carrier runs off the SIM card that you just put in your phone, it's active, you'll be able to use any of those carriers with an unlocked phone. Now, why are unlocked phones so popular? Well, when you go to, let's say, Canada, or you go to Europe or overseas, there's all different carriers. They don't have Verizon or AT&T there. They have, like in Canada, they have Rogers is one of the big networks there. Or in UK, I forgot the name of it. I can't remember the network I used when I was over in Europe. But basically, what you could do is you can then buy a prepaid SIM card when you're overseas and save yourself a ton of money, because a lot of the carriers you're not able to use internationally. So what people do is will take their unlocked phones and they'll use them overseas. Or people that live overseas that can't get brand new phones like the iPhone X or whatever it is, the next iPhone or Galaxy that's out, or they have to wait for it, they pay a premium price for an unlocked version of it so that it can be used in their country. Okay, so that's really what unlocked means. What unlocked doesn't mean is this. Unlocked does not mean that it has a it doesn't have a password. That does not mean unlocked. It just means it doesn't have a password. Unlocked doesn't mean it's not iCloud lock. They're completely separate. Has nothing to do with iCloud lock at all. One is managed by Apple and iCloud. The other is managed by the software based inside the phone. When the manufacturer builds this phone, they put special coding software in there to lock it to a certain carrier in order to protect the financial stability of that company. For example, if AT&T was selling all these AT&T phones, but they didn't lock it to AT&T, then people would sign up under an AT&T contract, lease the phone just to get the phone cheap, and then they would switch carriers, and that would cause the company to their business model would fall apart if they did that. So that's why they lock the phone to a carrier. So basically, this unlock code is just changing the software on the phone to allow it to be used on any carrier. And the other method, iCloud lock, is completely different. So there's no locking mechanisms or anything like that. It just basically means it can be unlocked and used on any carrier. That's what unlock means. Now, what does this mean to us as far as buying phones? You're going to get a lot of people call you and say, hey, I got a phone for AT&T and it's unlocked. Now, they think unlocked means it's not iCloud locked. They think unlocked means it doesn't have a password. They think it's unlocked to use on every carrier. It's really not. They think sometimes that phones come from AT&T unlocked. It's not true. So you're going to get a lot of people that say their phone is unlocked when it's really not. So what I do is I don't buy phones as unlocked. I only buy them as if they were the regular carrier. So if it was an AT&T phone and they said it's unlocked, I'm still only going to give them the price based on AT&T. Now, will it sell? If it's truly unlocked, it will sell probably for $20 or $30 more if it's truly unlocked. But the headache that's involved with trying to get that extra $20, $30 I found is absolutely not worth it, because here's the situations that will happen with this unlocked phone. For example, let's say you buy a phone and the person says, well, it's unlocked, and you don't verify this. And you have to go through a process to verify the phone is unlocked as well, which I'll tell you about that in a second. But if you don't verify it's unlocked, and then you go sell it on eBay, and you say unlocked in your listing. Now when you go sell that phone, and that person who buys it thinking they're going to be able to use this overseas, they have a friend ship it to them over in Europe, and they go to take one of their SIM cards from their carrier there, they put it in, and they get really upset because they can't use it because the phone's not truly locked. Now guess what? This guy in Europe spent all this money to have it shipped overseas. He bought it from you, and now you're saying, oh, I'm so sorry, it's not unlocked. You can take it back from return. But it's going to cost him probably $40 just to get the phone back to you. So that is probably going to end up getting passed to you if they file a complaint with eBay, which is a total nightmare. You don't want to be dealing with this stuff. So do you really want to risk going through all these potential problems that you could have by trying to squeeze an extra $20 phone being unlocked? Or is it better to just buy it lower and sell it a little bit lower, because you're going to make the same exact amount of money? Don't pay more for unlocked phones. Now, here's the thing. If you buy a phone and that, you know, you give them the original price based on only, let's say, AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever it is, and you don't buy it as unlocked. If you want to go through the process and you know 100% that phone's unlocked, and I'll tell you the process for that in a second, and you do sell it and you're super confident, you're really strong with phones, then okay, now you just made an extra 20, 30 bucks anyways, instead of paying more for the phone. So at the very least, don't pay more for the phone because it's unlocked. Pay the same, but maybe you can sell it a little more once you get really good in advance with this, okay? If you're a beginner, I highly recommend do not do this, and it's small-time stuff. You should be focused on the big things, which is mostly placing ads and getting more calls, because that will make you way more money than trying to just squeeze out an extra $20 on a phone. Okay. As far as checking if it's unlocked, so here's how you know if it's unlocked. Basically, if it's let's say a T-Mobile phone, and you have an 18, you're going to have a SIM card, which is going to be the next video I film. Is a SIM card video for you. If you take your AT&T SIM card and you put it in the T-Mobile phone and it works, then that's unlocked. That means if the phone has accepted that AT&T card and you're able to make calls with it, then that phone is genuinely unlocked and it can be used on any carrier. So in that situation, you can go ahead and sell that as unlocked. But if it's got a bad ESN, then you don't want to sell it as unlocked, because it's still not going to be able to use on the original carrier, which is going to cause problems. Now, you're probably finding this really confusing if you're new to technology. So best thing to do is just don't pay attention to the word unlocked. Only just buy and sell phones as their original carrier. You could definitely buy unlocked phones, but don't pay extra for them. Just buy them as if they were Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, or whatever carrier it is, just as you normally would pay for that carrier, whether it's unlocked or not. Okay. Some people are going to try to sell you on the phone to say, oh, this phone's unlocked, you're going to give me a little bit more, because they think it's like a huge benefit or something like that. And it really isn't that big of a deal, but they're going to try to make it a big deal for you. So you got to kind of just ignore that, basically. So I hope this cleared up the unlocked myths for you and give you a little clarity on that. And I'm going to talk about getting the SIM cards in the next video in the course for you.